Depends. I'd say it's sorrow.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so why don't you read?
Yeah, I was gonna say like sad.
I was stuck between my hatred of the empire I served and my rage against the evil-spirited little beasts who tried to make my job impossible.
This is
In one
shaky.
part of my mind, I thought of the British Raj as an ungrateful tyrant. With another part, I thought the greatest joy in the world would be to drive a bayonet.
We just do the ones we have.
Because in that, like, he's like,
So we're not ready.
Okay, so you know it's ironic. What is
he knows that it's
Like I just did
wrong,
6 tone
And how does he use
what
that?
the tone was.
Convey his
So like
So think about why is that ironic? Why is that ironic?
It's like,
Okay, I'll let you guys. Do you kind of have an idea now?
Yeah.
it's like,
So is that kind of graphic like when the tone is sorry? Regretful and regretting, like after you jump down, I don't think I want to kill it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree with you guys on that one.
Okay.
He's taking longer and stuff like that, and power of the guy.
mine is a symbol.
Okay.
People said that because in Emmer, suddenly upon him,
Not the
the
elephant.
corner off
Do you
of
want
the
to do the
hut,
other order
caught
one
him with his
first?
trunk, put his foot on his back, and ground
It's
him
number
into
5.
the earth. He was lying on his belly, his face distorted, eaten up, his eyes wide open, and teeth bared and grinding, with an expression of unendurable agony.
Oh, one more. Read your
Go ahead, Gordon. The earth symbol, why the
Right at that moment
elephant
before I
is
was
ground, right?
Okay.
And then continues on to the next page.
I don't know what
I got my shoes.
It was starting to
For that moment with the
When it was in the middle of the paragraph.
For that moment with the crowd watching me, I was not afraid in the ordinary sense as I would have been if I had been alone.
Do you know
A
what
white
it is?
man mustn't be frightened
Yeah.
in front of
Yeah,
others.
they don't know.
And so in general he is frightened.
was a buckling.
So there's a first superiority.
I don't know.
Yeah.
On this one, like it's later, like describes how the elephant went on his back with his feet up, his eyes open, his mouth all open, and his teeth bared and grinding with an expression of unendurable agony, like a symbol.
What I'm thinking there is, what is the symbol, what is the point of the elephant smashing the person? What is that?
Brings uneasy
He's not like,
balance.
he just shocked. So he said that the elephant comes upon him.
Oh no, this is before. This is before he ever shoots the elephant.
But like on the page it just said, like it even says, he had no intention of shooting the elephant and merely sent for the rifle to defend himself.
No, she's just
Is that the one with the take all those calls?
Let's see.
Yeah. I can see close, not where he's looking. But
Okay, see, that's what I'm asking about. I'm going to focus on this one.
Now,
So here, this section is, the elephant comes around the corner.
What number do you have?
The mud, and then he's laying in the mud on his
What
back,
is
his
it?
arms
Tone?
crossed and his head twisted sharply, and his teeth bared, grinning with an expression
Okay.
of unendurable agony.
They were
So what I'm asking is, disregarding what happens after, at this point in time, when the elephant is alive and it smashes a native into the
He
ground,
was masked,
What I learned
what
was
does
not
this
to be
black or white, and therefore
protect
protect property
if you were to
There was no
say the
human
elephant
weight
symbolized
touching on the
something
board.
relating to
It was
colonialism?
The creaking was a buckling.
Well, I know.
Right, yeah, now you're on the right track. Thinking of it as a symbol relating to what could the elephant symbolize in the text.
Shows how
So
easily
the
it
creaking
is
was a
something
buckling.
that is
Yeah, there you go.
It's
Something along those lines. What does the elephant
Okay,
represent?
so
kind of
What
one
does
of like
the elephant's
suspicion.
actions
It was
represent?
here.
Like,
There
for
was some
anticipation.
creaking. and
Anticipation.
stressful.
What am I thinking of?
What does it say what you thought it was saying about the story? And then as we go along, I'll write each aspect on the board, and you can copy it down into your sheet. And then you can also draw the Venn diagram whenever we get to that part, and put it in on your Venn diagram. So, we're starting with Gordimer, number 1. This team had number 1. And they didn't get to finish it. They were having a little bit of trouble, so I thought the whole class could kind of discuss it. I'll read it. What do you want to read that loud for me?
Sure. In a house in a suburb in a city there was a man and his wife who loved each other. very much and were living a loving, happily ever after. They had a little boy. They loved him very much. When they began to live happily ever after, they were warned by a wise old witch not to take anyone off the street.
Okay, so they were supposed to be thinking about how this passage relates to the theme. Do you remember the type of theme that I said Gordimer was using in her story?
I see what you're using.
Like, think of the title. Yeah, exactly. Fairy tale.
I wasn't here the day you guys did. I just looked
Oh,
at the
no,
background.
it's fine. I mean, that definitely is a part of it. She talks about it because of the apartheid. But yeah, I mean, you see happily ever after, the wise old witch. So she was doing a parody of a fairy tale, so we could say that is her theme. Okay, and who had 2 for Gordimer?
We did.
You guys did? All right,
Yeah.
what do you think?
It's tone. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, read it.
They were inscribed to the local neighborhood watch, which supplied them with a plaque for their faded letters. You have been warned, over the silhouette of a would-be intruder. He was masked. It could not be said if he was black or white, and therefore proved the property owner was no racist. It was, the topic was tone, so we said it kind of alluded to anticipation, like they were anxious for someone coming in, they were nervous that someone would get in, but it was also kind of sarcastic at the end whenever it said, it wouldn't say if he was black or white, and so it proves that they weren't racist, that they were really just trying to keep everybody out. So.
Right. Do you guys agree with that you think it's sarcastic whenever she says, the sign didn't say if they were black or white, and therefore that proved the property owner was no racist. Why do you think she'd be sarcastic when she's talking about that?
Because they wouldn't expect a white person to break into their house.
Exactly. They're not expecting a white person to be breaking in, but they have to make sure on the sign that you can't tell what race it is. So she's definitely employing sarcasm. She's using sarcasm in a sarcastic tone. Good job. Okay, so number 3. You guys have 3?
Number 3 was purpose and irony. The alarm set up wailing against the screams, while the bleeding mass of the little boy was hacked out of the security coil with saws, wire cutters, choppers, and they carried it, the man, the wife, the hysterical trusted housemaid, and the weeping gardener, into the house.
So what did you guys come up with for that?
The irony was that it was supposed to protect them, but it ended up killing their son. Because they had built the walls and the wires and everything to keep everybody else out, and instead it ended up hurting them.
Exactly. You guys hit that on the dot. So in that sentence, you see irony. She employed irony. Isn't it ironic that the fence you built to keep your son safe ended up being what tangled him up in wire and cutting him into pieces? So yeah, definitely ironic. Anything else? All right, well, we could try to figure it out. So this passage, I'll read it again. The alarm set up wailing against the screens while the bleeding mass of the little boy was hacked out of the security coil with saws, wire cutters, choppers, and they carried it, the man, the wife, the hysterical trusted housemaid, the weeping gardener, into the house. So does anyone remember why I discussed the importance of the boy being referred to it in the story? What do you think the importance of the child being called it did for the story, if we're thinking of a theme? Because I said Nadine Gordimer liked to write stories that were a certain thing.
So it would be more relatable for everybody.
Yeah. Right. So it makes it universal. It's like a warning for everyone. You could be this it. This is the product of the colonialism. So Nadine likes to employ a universal theme in her writing. Okay, and there was one more thing I wanted to get out of 3. It's something about the nature of colonialism. The boy being hacked up. What could you say that kind of says about colonialism?
It's vicious.
It's vicious, it's destructive. So yeah. She's also using this as a way to say, hey, look,